Yippee-ki-yay, melon farmers. I had to throw that in there because IMAX notified us in the chat that, whenever you watch Die Hard on basic cable, right? And they're not going to allow John McClane to say yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, on basic cable. So they change it. And IMAX in the chat says back in the 2000s, TBS and TNT changed it to melon farmer. How weird is that? Like, you're watching Die Hard for the first time on basic cable. You're like, why is he calling someone a melon farmer? What kind of sense does that make? Guys, Merry Christmas to everyone and happy holidays to everyone. When the week started, I didn't know for sure if we were going to do something today on Christmas Eve. I've been in the holiday spirit all week long, and I thought we'd do a quick episode today. We will talk some Dolphins, we'll talk some sports, but the main focus of this episode, and I wanted to bring on a true expert on this topic. We are going to make the case, really my guest is going to make the very strong case that Die Hard is, in fact, a Christmas movie. Before we get into that, I want to remind you that each and every episode of Donno Daily is served by our official sports bar, the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. Guys, new year coming up. Make sure you're checking out the new menu items at the Quarterdeck. The jerk chicken sandwich is awesome. The French dip sandwich is fantastic. The seafood is always so fresh at the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. It's a great place to wet your whistle with 2-for-1 happy hour all day, every day. It is an awesome spot to watch every big game and every big fight. If you want to peep their menu before you go or check them out on the web, find the location nearest to you, visit them on the web at quarterdeckrestaurants.com. The Quarterdeck, come for the food, stay for the fun. And give the gift of free play money this holiday season. I'm telling you, if you sign up a friend or loved one, family member at betus.com, they will thank you later, and you get a 125% sign-up bonus with our code 5RSN125. Type in our code with your deposit, 5RSN125, and they give you a 125% sign-up bonus. Yes, you can use BetUS in Florida. That's, people wonder, can I use? Yes, you can use it in Florida. Absolutely. I use it every single day, man. 125% sign-up bonus. It is a full-service casino sportsbook. It's like having Las Vegas in your pocket. So check out all the fun we're having on the 3-decade leader, America's favorite sportsbook. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. So, huge shout out to our viewer, David, who sent me a DM on Twitter this morning notifying me that there is a Die Hard marathon on Sci-Fi. And when I started, I turned on the marathon, 4 or 5 hours ago, and it was Die Hard 2, which I love. I was just watching Die Hard with a Vengeance, and I think they're going to run, the 2 more recent films, and then they're going to start over with the original Die Hard. Now, as I bring on my special guest here, Jason Sarney from Phinmaniacs.com, one of the few people on planet Earth who is even more passionate than I am about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. And the difference is Jason Sarney has stats to back it up. And Jason, I watch Die Hard every holiday season. I'm planning on watching it later today because the movie is set on Christmas Eve. Will you be, or have you already watched Die Hard this holiday season?
I've been saving it for tonight. I appreciate you having me on. A Merry Christmas to you, Alex, and to your family and all your viewers.
Thank you.
Tonight's the night. I'm in Florida with the family. We'll put the kids to bed early, and I'll hopefully have a good 2 hours of watching a Christmas movie that is Die Hard.
And about an hour ago, I had, I've got my 3-year-old running around the house, and I had Die Hard with a Vengeance on, and he's like getting kind of interested in what's on the TV. And I'm like, I'm not sure you should be watching this. So I flipped over for a few minutes to some cartoons because I don't know if he was ready for the gunplay that was about to happen in that scene. Now, I'm going to give my quick take, and you can add in the statistics to back this up. A lot of haters out there. A lot of haters will try and ruin the fun that I have every year by saying Die Hard's not a Christmas movie, bro. Like, no, you got to only be watching like the Hallmark originals. You got to be watching movies, with like kids and puppies in them and Christmas presents under the tree, sappy stuff that you would only ever watch on Christmas. Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. People will bring up the fact that even though Die Hard is set on Christmas Eve, that the movie came out in July, and people use that as like a smoking gun against it being a Christmas movie. But to me, there are a lot of Christmas references in the movie. It's also got like one of the low-key best Christmas songs in it, Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC, right? Which I think is a big component of this. And hey, if you're even looking, like if you need something like romance and touching, I mean, the way that John McClane, he and his wife, get back together in the end, like you do get the happy ending and the romance you need. So I feel very strongly that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So Jason, give us some stats to back this up, sir.
I'm going to start the statistical analysis with the same way as you referenced that pretty much the music of Die Hard started. While the credits were still rolling, when John McClane deplaned and he had to get into his limo with a huge bear with a jingle bell necklace, mind you, around the collar, he gets into a limousine, and the first song is that Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC. Sticking to the musical overtones, there were 4 or 3 songs that were Christmas songs, opened with the song Christmas in Hollis, closed with the song Let It Snow. In between like the Dolphins, Alex, you got to open strong and you got to close strong. That's basically what Die Hard did. We're coming out of the gates telling you we're doing Christmas, and we're going to close with Let It Snow. And there was a whistling rendition in the airport of Jingle Bells. Bruce Willis was whistling Jingle Bells. And then there was Winter in Wonderland. There was another one. There was 4 songs.
Ooh.
I'll get the exact one in a half a second. But
he's got notes, ladies and gentlemen. He has notes.
Believe that or not. But that's pretty much 60-75% more in terms of a musical percentage of Christmas music in most Christmas movies in terms of their song during the movie. So statistically, from a musical standpoint, we're looking pretty good so far.
So, okay, what else are we looking at? Because another thing that you and I have talked about in the past is just the amount of times that Christmas is uttered in the movie.
One of my favorite statistical findings was that 18. The number 18 is the amount of time, which is my favorite number, believe it or not. I was born on January 18th, 1981. So my 2 favorite numbers in football are 18 and 81. Shout out to Juice, O.J. McDuffie. Now, if you're looking at the number of times Christmas is said, we're talking about Die Hard, right? One of the greatest action-killing terrorist movies ever, right? Die was mentioned 4 times. Hard, 5 times. Shoot, 11. Kill, 12. Blood, 13. So we're really very low in the amount of times that the bad buzzwords are said versus the word Christmas. And then you have the visuals. 21 of them. 21 screenshots. If you can see on my notes, there they are.
Look at that.
21 screenshots. This is not me. I will reference Stephen Fellows, Film Data and Education. So like most of the stats I always do, they're right there.
Yeah.
They're there for everybody. You just got to be a loser like me and put in the time and do the work. So there they are. We have Christmas trees about 4 or 5 times. Santa caricatures or figurines. A lot of times with Holly McClane. Basically saying that she's the giver. She's the one that's going to bring the family back together after John does his thing. There's a lot of Santa, and she's wearing red. She wears red. Come on, everybody. She wears red. And then, of course, the iconic ho, ho, ho. The dearly departed is wearing a Christmas hat.
Yeah.
Like you, but you're not him. Thank you.
No, I'm not. No.
So there we go. I think I rest my case. But, of course, if you need more, there's more.
That's incredible. Well, are there any other nuggets you can give me? Because if you're telling me you have more, I'd like to hear more.
I mean, there's, in terms of, the visuals are huge. It's a lot of symbolism. I love everything that really puts it together with the audio, the visual, and the scripted words in the movie. And it's all over the place, especially in the beginning and the end. And the music tying together, holding the bear. It just is things that tells me that there might not have been a release intention for this to be a Christmas movie in July, but the overtone of the movie is, as silly as it sounds, it's a family getting back together on Christmas. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Now, isn't there some of the controversy comes from the fact that didn't Bruce Willis once say that it's not a Christmas movie? Like, so the man John McClane himself has tried to debunk this, but my thing is, I don't know if that's his place to decide. Like, I don't see why Bruce Willis has to be the final judge, jury, and executioner on this.
I will quote Bruce, and again, this is from the article, that when asked if Die Hard is a Christmas movie, he will say, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's a goddamn Bruce Willis movie. However, if you ask him, I would guess, I don't know Bruce Willis, of course, but if I asked him what type of movie Pulp Fiction was, he'd probably say it's a Bruce Willis movie when clearly it's a John Travolta flick.
I agree. I was about to say that. I think it's a John Travolta movie.
That's my argument to that.
Now, what about do you feel the same way about Die Hard 2? Because not as much. I don't think there's enough evidence, but I do think Die Hard 2 is also a borderline Christmas movie.
Borderline at best. I mean, I kind of stand Die Hard, the original, alone in movie lore. I kind of wish they ended it there, But after Die Hard 1, it's everyone is whatever you want to think.
Are there any other movies that are part of your Christmas rotation? Because obviously Die Hard is in mine. I love Home Alone. I love National Lampoon's Vacation is very high on the list for me. And those, and Home Alone 2 also. Home Alone 1 was better, but Home Alone 2 is a lot of fun as well. So those are some of the movies at the top of my Christmas rotation every year. And the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the little stop motion thing from like the 60s is also, it's a classic. I watch that as well.
Family, we love Home Alone. We actually, and I don't mean to start a firestorm here, we kind of like 2 almost better than 1, but
2, the thing for me, and it came out like we were kids when Home Alone 2 came out, and I liked that one better when I was a kid because the whole thing, like New York City, that was like another star of the movie was New York City. I just thought like, oh man, this looks incredible. He's having so much fun. He's at the the World Trade Center. God bless those buildings. He's at FAO Schwartz and Plaza Hotel. It looked incredible. But then, like when I became an adult, I realized Part 1 is a much better film. But Part 2, I think it was more fun as a kid. Part 2 was more fun for me.
See, that's dynamite analysis. That's fantastic, Alex. I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the last thing on Die Hard, I do want to get into some Miami Dolphins with you. Yeah, I can remember the last time my wife and we took a trip. This must have been 4 or 5 years ago in Southern California. And we were doing like a lot of, the typical tourist stuff going through there. But I really wanted to go see like somewhere where they filmed one of my favorite movies. And the debate, she let me decide, but she only let me pick one of them because, to drive anywhere in LA, it takes like 3 hours, right? Because the traffic is so bad. So we could either go to the Twin Pines Mall, like the actual mall from Back to the Future, or Nakatomi Plaza, and I ended up choosing the mall. And I wish I could have done both. Like we ended up going to the original Twin Pines Mall filming site. I wanted to go to Nakatomi Plaza, which is called Fox Plaza, but it was like a Sophie's choice. Like I knew I was gonna regret it. Like I could only pick one.
That's a very funny reference, but I mean, I don't mean to. Do you know the Back to the Future little trick there with Lone Pine and Twin Pine Mall?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
how it was Twin Pines at the beginning. They ran over one of the pine trees, then they come back. It's Lone Pine Mall. Yeah,
unbelievable.
And that was one thing I didn't notice that until I was a grown up.
Oh, that was like a couple of months back, a year ago. That was
Yeah, because I watched that movie 1,000 times when I was a kid, and little details like that just went over my head.
Never picked up on that.
I love it. Oh, man. Jason Sarney is with us, Phinmaniacs.com. I think he made the strongest case statistically you will find for Die Hard absolutely being a Christmas movie. What about this coming Monday night? Clunky segue on my part, right? But Miami Dolphins are trying to win their 7th straight game, and you're going up against a New Orleans team. Listen, Monday night at the whatever they call the Superdome now, the Caesars Mercedes. I don't know what it is now. The Caesars Palace Dome in New Orleans. It's a tough place to play at night, but looks like they might be going up against Ian Book because Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill both are on the COVID list right now. So it looks like a dicey game on paper, a lot easier than we thought it was going to be.
Well, you know what? This game is going to be a very weird, sloppy game. You know what? The COVID list is kind of building on each side of the ball
Yeah.
here. The Dolphins are getting people on and off the list, and they are also coming off of a good 6-game win streak. So there's that worry that there's this going to be this wall, but the problem is the wall is the end of the season. So you really hope that there is no wall. And Ian Book, as you mentioned, was coached by Brian Flores at the Senior Bowl. So there could be good knowledge there. And Brian Flores spitting knowledge to his defense, which is playing unbelievably, Alex. And, since week 9, they're top 5 across the board and any pertinent defensive stat that matters. So if everyone could play that's supposed to play at this moment, because, we got Saturday, we got Sunday, a couple of people have to get through negative tests.
Right.
If they can get to Monday night with 85% of the roster that we have at the moment, I think that they could beat Ian Book at the Saints. But I think that it's going to be one of those sloppy 3-point, 2 field goal kind of games, last possession. Maybe the defense is on the field to win it. 19-16, 21, 20, something like that.
How sold are you now on Tua Tagovailoa? Because I'm a lot more bullish on Tua now than probably the last time you and I spoke. Like I've had you on this show a couple times before, and I think the last time I had you on was probably before this winning streak started, where he's been playing very well. So, I mean, how have your opinions of his play evolved, or maybe you've been completely on board all along?
I'm very middled. I'm not. Look. Twitter's a very funny place. I'm not a Tua stan. I am admittingly not QAnon. That's brilliant and so funny. Whoever does that. Yeah. But I'm not even close to a hater. I'm a guy who says, all right, he's the 5th pick overall in this particular draft. He's doing what he's doing now with arguably a bottom level offensive line. Arguably, minus the last couple of performances by individual running backs, a bottom barrel running back room. So you ask yourself, if you give those components to him in the next year or two, why can't he continue to be not 80% completion percentage, but let him be the guy that he is, maybe a top 12 quarterback. And I don't care if he's 11, 12, 13, but if he's in that range and everyone else is doing their job, that's fine by me, because we've seen the best in the business. We've seen all of that. And let me just say something, Alex. If people watched Marino and Favre and had Twitter, they'd be roasted after the third quarter in a lot of games. I mean, Marino would even say it. After you throw the third interception, who gives a whatever, So if you win the game, you forget about the turnovers. And now we're scrutinizing turnovers and overthrows and wins for Tua, because we can. But I like them. I think you just stay the course. No trades.
Yeah, I agree. And, we had the video that came out a few weeks back from inside the NFL where Phil Simms and Brandon Marshall, what's his superpower? He doesn't have a superpower. His superpower, though, is his accuracy, right? And again, like you said, I'm not expecting it to be, I'm not expecting him to average 80% for his career the way that he did for a few consecutive games. But it's obvious, okay, his superpower is not his athleticism, although I loved watching him hit the truck stick against Michael Carter this past week. His superpower is not his arm strength, even though we've seen him make a couple of good deep throws this season. But no, his superpower is his accuracy, because really there's probably only a couple other quarterbacks in the league who are as or more accurate than Tua right now.
I mean, look, if you're looking for a superpower, I'll take a superpower that doesn't quite seem so super, and it's a guy who's just a leader and going to do his job, and you're not going to find in the wrong side of the newspaper.
Yeah.
And that's a superpower in these days. You're not going to find scandal. You're not going to find laziness. You're going to see someone who can lead. And I know that he turned down the captain, or he might not have the fire. Did you see him truck a cornerback? He has the fire. He flexes at a number of times when he's really ready to celebrate good. And guys root for him.
Yeah.
People root for him. And so do I.
Do you think in about a month's time we're going to be covering playoff football, or do they fall just short?
I hope that we are. And I'm going to go week by week. They have 3 tough games. Even though they have Ian Book and, a Saints team that's 7-7, just like the Dolphins. The Superdome, Mercedes, Crypto, Maniac Bowl.com. I don't know what. Tough place to play.
Well said. We'll close it on that note. Jason Sarney, Phinmaniacs.com. Have a wonderful trip. Have a blessed time with your family. And man, I'm looking forward to talking to you again soon. And thank you so much for setting the record straight, because there are a lot of doubters out there. And I almost, the one thing that disappoints me is just based on the way the comment section has gone, I feel like this is a little bit of preaching to the choir, because I think the people who are, at least the ones who are commenting live, tend to agree with us on Die Hard. So I'm going to make sure that the replay of this is watched by the people who do not agree with us, because at least open your minds, friends. At least open your minds to this. Jason, thank you so much. Phinmaniacs.com. Is there anything else you'd like to promote?
Oh, no, I just want to say thank you very much. A Merry Christmas, Happy and a Healthy New Year to you and yours, Alex. This is always a blast. Obviously, everyone appreciate you guys and gals checking out Phinmaniacs.com and what everyone does on the podcasts and our written content. So just yippee-ki-yay to you and yours. That's about it, but I appreciate you.
To you and yours as well. Thank you so much, Jason.
You got it, Alex.
That was fantastic. So I want to remind everybody, please support our great sponsors here on Christmas, the Quarterdeck Seafood Bar and Neighborhood Grill. You can check them out tonight, man. I mean, you may have plans with family throughout the day tomorrow. Head out to the Quarterdeck tonight. Dine on some of that delicious seafood. 2-for-1 happy hour all day, every day. Watch all the games. I'm telling you, man, whether it's NBA games, NFL games, college football games, bowl games, the Quarterdeck is an awesome spot to take all of it in while you're enjoying the delicious food, the ice cold beer, and the 2-for-1 happy hour. Visit them on the web, quarterdeckrestaurants.com. The Quarterdeck, come for the food, stay for the fun. And get that free play money and get that paper at betus.com. Available in Florida, absolutely. 3-decade leader. They didn't get suspended like that app that some of you were using. BetUS has been around taking your bets for almost 30 years. They're in their 27th NFL season, guys. Find out why they are the most trusted sports book, America's favorite sports book, and the 3-decade leader. And we have a gift for you. Give the gift of free play money this Christmas. Sign yourself up, sign your dad up, sign your significant other up, sign your good friend up. And guys, when you make your deposit with our code, 5RSN125, you see it right there on the screen, 5RSN125, they're going to give you a 125% sign-up bonus. That is the best bonus in the industry. So sign up today and bet NFL, college football, NBA, loads of games, of course, tomorrow on Christmas Day. Live betting on all of it, by the way. You don't just place your bets before the games start. You can also place bets in-game. It's so much fun to do it. They've got a full casino right there on the website as well. Pop culture props, bet on horses. I play blackjack in there sometimes for real money. It's a lot of fun. BetUS.com. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. Quick shout outs in the comments. And by the way, I appreciate the people who are watching us live, the fact that you're taking time out of your Christmas Eve to watch us. Because again, I wasn't sure if I was going to do a show today, but I wanted to do something, especially knowing Jason Sarney is my guy, and he has actual stats to back up Die Hard being a Christmas movie. So I had to do this today. It was a lot of fun. Huge thanks to David. Huge thanks to IMAX for getting in there. Let's see who else was in the live chat. Big Dan 305 was in there as well. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I hope everyone has amazing food. Get plastered off of eggnog tonight. Enjoy the time with your families, and we will talk to you again on Monday. Same time. Well, actually, different time because we came on late today. We're going to be Monday, 3 p.m. right here on Donno Daily on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Peace.